there, I'm Adeline and it is so nice to meet you. Welcome to the 69th Celebrity Synastry chart reading where we will be covering Olivia Rodrigo and Louis Partridge. For those new and returning, I take notes on a Synastry chart looking at the personal planets, signs, aspects, and if birth times available house overlays. I also add my extra insights and interpretations along the way. Feel free to leave your own in the comments below. Before we start the reading, give this video a like and subscribe for more Celebrity Synastry chart readings. Let's get into it. Starting off with the Sun, we have Olivia's Sun in Pisces and Louis' Sun in Gemini. These are both mutable signs. They have an adaptable relationship and there is a difference in problem solving. Louis tends to make Olivia discuss issues and they are both naturally inconsistent. Louis' Sun are overlaid in Olivia's 6th house. They are productive together. Louis is submissive. Work is a strong theme here, which with the little we have seen so far, it's not ridiculously surprising if they have that adaptable relationship and they are both a bit more inconsistent with their careers. I assume there would be a lot of changes and everything, a lot of things they would need to adapt to, so that would connect there. It's a boss-assistant relationship. Olivia's Sun, Trine, Louis, Saturn. They work well together and it's a sensible relationship again. Work. Louis is loyal to Olivia and Louis guides Olivia with his wisdom. Potentially he brings out things in her as a way to guide her, as we saw earlier, he makes her discuss issues, so potentially that way. Olivia is attracted to Louis' maturity and they both desire to build a lasting relationship. Olivia is encouraging and supportive of Louis and Olivia is attracted to Louis' will and personality. Wealth can be accumulated through marriage. Challenges are dealt with perseverance. Olivia's Sun conjunct Louis' Uranus. They meet each other suddenly and they are separated at key moments, so it seems like they have that sort of separation. They need to adapt to each other's presence sort of thing. They need to embrace spontaneity and the relationship is outside of tradition. Olivia is willing to support Louis' desires, so again, she's very supportive of him. Olivia wants more stability, so potentially with what we just saw with the whole wanting stability and it's a sensible relationship, potentially Olivia is the one really driving that. But when both were looking for something different and Olivia triggers Louis to explore his individuality. Olivia is attracted to Louis' unconventional qualities and Louis challenges Olivia to be more unconventional. Louis' Sun, Trine, Olivia's Moon. There's honest communication and Louis relies on Olivia's support, so it definitely seems like she's very supportive for him here. Olivia relies on Louis' wisdom. We're seeing again it's a naturally cooperative relationship and Olivia tends to be dependent on Louis. Both feel they can rely on each other, so it's nice that they both seem to be able to rely on each other. It seems like, as we saw, a sensible relationship. Louis' Sun, Trine, Olivia's Mercury. It's a great friendship and there's good communication. Louis accepts Olivia, which I can imagine why he would be very encouraging Olivia to be more unconventional and everything. They both just get each other and they do business together well, so the work element seems to be quite strong. Louis supports Olivia's beliefs and they can talk through issues together, which, as we saw before, it seems like Louis would be the one pushing to discuss those issues in the first place. Louis gets what makes Olivia tick and Louis admires Olivia's intelligence. They understand each other on a basic level and they speak to each other with understanding. Louis allows Olivia to express herself, we're seeing again, and Louis feels he can think better around Olivia. Louis' Sun, Sextile Olivia's Jupiter. Louis energizes Olivia and they are good travel companions. Olivia is generous with Louis and mutual respect remains after the end. Both want to make the other happy and Olivia boosts Louis' confidence. Olivia opens up new doors for Louis, potentially how she would be supporting him. Olivia frequently gives Louis the benefit of the doubt. Louis' Sun, Trine, Olivia's Neptune. It's tolerant and forgiving and Louis strengthens Olivia's ego. So I assume him encouraging Olivia to be more unconventional and potentially being more herself, that would definitely potentially help Olivia with her ego, her self-esteem and everything. They're attuned to each other's feelings and Olivia inspires Louis to be creative. Louis' Sun opposite Olivia's Neptune. It's a relationship of growth and this feels faded. I definitely see the relationship of growth. I believe they are both quite young, so that is a given. But at the same time, we have them both encouraging each other to be themselves. That seems to be what they do for both of the other. But also we have Olivia, helping opening up new doors for Louis being very supportive of him, and it seems like Louis as well guides Olivia with his wisdom, so that's also nice. Bond that is not easily broken, and they are both separated by distance, so this seems to be a bit of a theme in this relationship too. Louis has the tendency to embarrass Olivia. Oh no! Louis uses Olivia to boost himself in a negative way. No, I don't like this. And she's like, we're still like opening up doors for Louis. That's not nice.
Now for the intermission. This video is brought to you by me, my Etsy store, Adeline the Astrologer. If you ever watch this and think, hey, I would like her to read my Synastry chart, well, I will. I do personalized Synastry readings on my Etsy store, both basic and detailed. The basic one is very simple to understand. It's not overwhelming at all. It's pretty good for those that are beginners to astrology, just getting the head around astrology, or just as a fun gift idea. The detailed one is just like what I do on my channel, just a lot of insight and interpretation on your chart. So if you are interested in that and everything else astrology and tarot related, readings and gifts, then definitely check out my Etsy store. Links are below. I'm always releasing new things, so definitely check it out if you're interested. You can even just favorite the store just to show your support for free. Thanks for listening, and let's get back to the reading.
So now it's time for moon. We have Olivia's moon in Libra and Louis' moon in Cancer. These are both cardinal signs. They please each other and confrontation is avoided. I have to assume this might be more coming from Olivia's end, since we saw that Louis kind of forces her to talk about issues. Louis may fall into being Olivia's parent. Oh, that's a bit odd, and, connecting that with he guides her with his wisdom. There's a difference in priorities. Louis' moon overlaid in Olivia's 7th house. It's an accepting atmosphere, which we do keep seeing. Louis feels secure with Olivia, and they want to be together frequently. Seems like a bit of an issue though. Like, I guess that whole thing, if they desire to be together frequently, there has to be separation for that to happen. They complement each other, and Olivia likes Louis' quirks. We're seeing again. Olivia finds Louis enjoyable, and Olivia wants to support Louis. We're seeing that again as well. There's a real supportive thing from Olivia here. Their moons are squared together, so timing is difficult. I definitely see that, especially when it comes to actually being together. They find each other's habits unbearable, and past relationships from both sides are carried into this. I wonder what relationships, because they both are quite young, so I'm not sure if they were publicly with anyone before. Different views regarding the home. Olivia's moon at Trine, Louis' Mars. They're instinctively drawn to each other, and there's mutual attraction. It's a lively relationship, and Olivia nurtures and feeds Louis' ego. So yeah, I feel like that whole thing, them sort of nurturing each other to be themselves, it seems to be a thing on both ends where they're both nurturing that, and they both seem to be strengthening the other's egos. Louis teaches Olivia to be brave and confident. Again, as I just said, arguing is not uncommon, and both learn about their instincts and needs here. Expressing feelings is spontaneous here. Olivia's moon trine Louis' Neptune. Olivia picks up on Louis' needs, and they inspire the other. A shared interest. I believe that Louis is an actor and Olivia is also, she's a singer, right? So that is a creative interest that they kind of share together, being in the arts, at the end of the day. They sense each other's feelings, and they both uncover the other's blind spots. They share a sensitive and mystical worldview, and they have a mystical meeting. I guess it makes sense that they have a mystical meeting. We did see that they meet each other suddenly, so potentially it did feel like quite faded, like what happened. Olivia's moon sextile Louis' Pluto. Their relationship feels faded, kind of what I just mentioned, and both of their irrational sides come out. Relationship prevents opportunity for both to heal from the past. Okay, so that is a real element, healing from the past together, and also uncovering the other's blind spots comes into it as well. Involved in organizations together. So I'm not sure, they could be helping charities, they could be, in projects together. I'm not sure if they do overlay in that somehow. It's an intense meeting, and they have a strong bond. We're seeing both again. Louis' moon opposite Olivia's Venus. They both learn balance and harmony, and it's easy to take each other for granted. I feel like more on Louis and taking Olivia for granted, because we saw that she's very supportive of him, opening up doors for him and everything. you know, they both have that sort of like, you know, be yourself and strengthening the other ego. It's just Louis that has a bit more to take for granted, if that makes sense. Living beyond means occurs and will not appreciate each other sometimes, yeah. Particularly on Louis' end, you know, as I just said. And the whole, like, embarrassing Olivia thing, that's bad. Louis may feel undervalued or misunderstood by Olivia. Interesting. So, because I have to assume not misunderstood, because she seems to be very, like, you know, open to him and everything. Or potentially misunderstanding in particular ways. Undervalued, maybe she also has the tendency to not value him enough, which isn't, you know, kind of is sad if both of them can't, you know, truly value the other. Compromise needs to happen, and Olivia sees Louis as childish and needy. Olivia gets confused of Louis' emotions. Okay, maybe emotionally Louis feels misunderstood. Louis sees Olivia as narcissistic and seductive. So now it's time for Mercury. We have Olivia's Mercury in Aquarius and Louis' Mercury in Taurus. These are both fixed signs. Louis gets impatient with Olivia, and Louis teaches Olivia to be more practical. So it seems like there is a sort of like teaching element from Louis as well, guiding with wisdom, this whole practicality thing. Him maybe falling into the parent role here. Olivia teaches Louis to be open-minded, so I assume that would come with sort of like, you need to be yourself, potentially, you know, encouraging him to experiment with things as well. They fundamentally communicate the same. Louis' Mercury overlaid in Olivia's 5th house. Louis is like the sun to Olivia, and Louis makes Olivia's day. There's easy communication, we have seen already, and they both encourage each other. That has kind of been a theme in this whole relationship, hasn't it? It's not a boring relationship. That we also have seen, like, the liveliness and everything, and the lack of stability. Olivia's Mercury opposite Louis' Jupiter. They have different philosophical views, and they frequently interrupt each other. I would assume that would come from, we did see, like, they express feelings quite spontaneously here, so I assume that it was where it comes from, not necessarily with malintent thus far, but, you know, just they're very spontaneous with expressing those feelings and don't think before they speak. Olivia sees Louis as too flippant. There's a mutual lack of understanding, and Louis sees Olivia as too rational. Olivia's Mercury conjunct Louis Neptune. Spirituality is prioritized, and they have a telepathic-like connection. I believe we have seen already, like, they kind of like sense things in each other. Spirituality is prioritized, and it's a telepathic-like connection. They are compassionate towards each other, and Olivia helps Louis turn his dreams into reality. This, like, yes, it's good, but I'm also not obsessed with, considering that we have seen, you know, already that she opens up doors for him and everything, and there is a tendency on Louis' end to not be as appreciative of it, and the whole embarrassing thing I don't like. Habit of telling the other what they want to hear, and there is deceptive and exaggerative communication. Olivia finds Louis confusing, and it's hard to talk about practical matters. I kind of have to assume this would be on Olivia's end, as I said. Like, we did see, it's just, we saw the whole thing that she avoids the issues. There's a whole avoiding confrontation thing on her end, and Louis has to be the one that kind of brings her out to talk about it. Louis' Mercury, Trine Olivia's Venus. Olivia is attracted to Louis' intellect, and they respect each other's thoughts and ideas. Communication, and Olivia softens Louis. I would assume, like, with what we have seen, this will be kind of like softening him, helping him be himself. They share mutual friends, and they are sensitive to each other, so the whole thing, like the whole telepathic like connection, I assume that's how they would be sensitive to each other. Louis helps Olivia verbalize her feelings. Interesting. So I assume he seems to be doing a lot of, like, bringing Olivia out of her shell in a way, like, not only with discussing things, but I feel like, you know, this whole thing, yes, it's discussing her feelings and everything, but we did see the whole element with them, you know, helping each other, well, like, with things from the past and everything, and sort of working through those deeper feelings. So potentially he's the one instigating those conversations with her, and in that way being a bit more emotionally nurturing than Olivia would be. So now it's time for Venus. We have Olivia's Venus in Capricorn and Louis' Venus in Taurus. These are both earth signs. They are interested in their differences. We haven't seen a whole lot of differences. I think besides, like, more philosophical views, besides that, there hasn't been anything too serious. They share common goals and values, which does not surprise me. I mean, they are both in the sort of, like, you know, arts, entertainment industry. They're in showbiz together. They agree on how to spend money. I'm not obsessed with this considering, like, the only money things we have seen, I mean, like, marriage can be accumulated or wealth can be accumulated through marriage. But also that, they can be too excessive with spending and everything. So it's a long courtship. Okay. This is interesting because, I mean, we have seen a lot of work elements here, but the fact that we're seeing long courtship and also, like, wealth can be accumulated through marriage, that's interesting. I guess, like, there's things to still play out because we haven't seen anything else to indicate, like, it's going to be a short term relationship besides that mutual respect to remain after the end. But that's not necessarily, oh, it's like going to be a short or long relationship. So interesting. It's a comfortable and safe relationship, and Olivia likely wears the pants. Definitely in terms of connections and potentially career as well. She's the one, like, opening doors for him and all of that. Olivia sees Louis as too complacent. There is a sort of, it's weird because we did see that, like, little element of, like, she appreciates his maturity, but I don't know, I feel like that's being trumped because there's a lot of, she sees him as complacent, childish, needy, like, all of that sort of thing. So Louis' Venus overlaid in Olivia's 5th house. Louis sees Olivia as perfect, and Louis is forgiving of Olivia's faults. So on both ends, there seems to be a lot of forgiving, a lot of tolerance here. Olivia appreciates the admiration from Louis, and Olivia may take advantage of Louis. I'm not obsessed with this. Like, to be fair, yes, we have seen it on both ends, but I still don't like, they seem to be, like, taking advantage of each other a bit and also just not being fully grateful for the other. They are both satisfied here. The Venus signs are trine together, so they enjoy each other's company and they share a mutual community again, which is not surprising they would share mutual community and friends. Appreciate how the other dresses, handles money and socializes, and they both have a desire to make the other happy. That is, we keep seeing that, which is very nice. So now it's time for Mars. We have Olivia's Mars in Sagittarius and Louis' Mars in Aquarius. They maintain their independence. It definitely seems to be the way. Like, the whole separation thing, I feel like is a very big indicator that they do that. But also, like, the fact that they, encourage each other to be themselves, that seems to be a very strong element. I can imagine that would help them maintain their independence. They share humanitarian interests and they are blunt with each other. Louis' Mars overlaid in Olivia's 2nd house. Louis triggers Olivia's possessiveness, interesting, and Louis is patient with Olivia. Olivia is more materialistic in this relationship, and Louis is sentimental with Olivia. Louis treats Olivia as an object. I don't like that. I guess, like, that would have to do with him embarrassing her, maybe in that sort of way he would be. Their Mars signs are sextile to each other, so there's healthy competitiveness, and they do sports together. They are supportive of each other, we do keep seeing, and they are in sync. So I assume it would have to be with that sort of, like, telepathic, like, connection that they have, and the whole being sensitive to each other, being very intuitive of each other, I imagine. Olivia's Mars conjunct to Louis' Pluto. It's competitive, which we just saw, and Louis brings depth. Yeah, as I said earlier, I feel like he seems to be the one instigating that sort of, like, those deeper conversations and everything. They have power struggles. I assume this would come from, potentially, we did see that Olivia is the one that likely wears the pants, and in a way she does, but then we also have Louis potentially stepping into more of, like, a parenting role. So there's, as individuals, like, both dominant, type of placements. So them being together could potentially create that, power struggle dynamic. Both are likely to transform here, which is not surprising, the whole deeper conversations and everything. And also, if they, the whole wealth being accumulated through marriage, that would be transforming as well. Louis' Mars trine Olivia Saturn. Olivia is the anchor, and they both can achieve a lot together thanks to Olivia being the anchor and her opening up those doors and everything, I guess. Louis finds Olivia's predictability attractive, which is nice. Like, she seems to definitely be the more, like, rational, stable one. I guess, like, with her, sort of emotions detached a bit as well, since she does seem to be, tending to suppress her feelings and everything as a person. Louis feels he can depend on Olivia, and Olivia appreciates Louis' individuality. I would just be like a record player. with all of this. Louis' Mars conjunct Olivia's Uranus. Olivia's independence is attractive to Louis and it's unconventional. We did see in the beginning it's not a very traditional relationship, so that's there. Explosive sudden arguments that diffuse quickly. I assume, yeah, from like spontaneous feelings and all of that. And we did see like arguing is not uncommon here. So I would assume it's just very quick, like, you know, expressing feelings spontaneously. Louis sees Olivia as a friend. I find this interesting because we haven't seen a whole lot of, like, you know, relationship dynamics. Nothing like too domestic, like they're sharing a life together or anything. But what we did see, the whole wealth can be accumulated through marriage and that, you know, it's a long courtship. The long courtship thing is interesting to me, especially with this. Potentially, I don't know what their status is as of now. I don't believe they're married, in the first place, or have any sort of like serious, like long-term partnership. But I just find it interesting. There's a long-term courtship. Louis sees Olivia as a friend, and the fact that we haven't seen anything else to indicate how long their relationship is. It just, you know, tying it all together, I don't want to, you know, make any sort of assumptions or anything, but like, I do have to say, like, I wonder where this relationship is going if they are not already in a serious relationship. Because the long courtship, Louis sees Olivia as a friend. Olivia is attracted to Louis' decisiveness, so I guess this is where she appreciates his maturity. Like, she sees this thing, whole decisiveness thing, as a mature thing, because in other ways, she's not very appreciative of him. May encourage each other to engage in reckless behavior. Louis' Mars sextile Olivia's Pluto. Louis' daring nature is attractive to Olivia. It's competitive. We're seeing again potential to be destructive or dangerous. Oh no! Like, I guess we just saw the reckless behavior thing. Oh, I don't like that. There are power issues. We did see before the whole power struggle thing, so that's there. That was the final aspect, bringing us to the end of the reading. If you are still watching, please share your thoughts below. I would be very interested to see what you guys have to say about this one if you are fans of these two, because I'm very curious as to, I guess, more so not where they are now, but where they will end up, as I, you know, said in the end, because I'm very interested. I think this was a pretty good reading. If you have made it this far, please consider subscribing for more. I post these readings weekly. And besides that, give this video a like, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!